Hello everybody and welcome back to our GM mode commentary for the New York Rangers. We are in season 2015-2016 up here at the trade deadline, and we are going to go all the way to the start of the playoffs in this video. If you missed it in our last video, we did make some trades. We did change our lineup just a little bit. I'll go ahead and show you guys that. So I think you can notice right away the big change here is we do have Pavel Datsyuk on our team now. I made a trade with Detroit. Detroit was near the bottom of the league, so I felt like this was a pretty realistic trade to make that also helped bolster our offense a little bit. You could rationalize Pavel Datsyuk. He's 37. His team's not making the playoffs, and he's really wanting to be traded to a team that has the potential to win another cup. Not unlike, the Marty St. Louis trade. We did have to send some significant pieces back the other way. So now we do have Pavel Datsyuk, and we got Xavier Ouellet. And in exchange for that, we had to send over Mark Stahl. One of our elite defensemen, but I felt like our defensive core was still pretty strong. And we also sent back Jarrett Stoll. So our fourth line's a little bit weaker, but I think overall everything's looking a little bit stronger. Our third line's now JT Miller, Kevin Hayes, and Oscar Lindberg. So we moved Kevin Hayes down after Zuccarello moved down, and Stepan went to the right wing. And we moved Victor Stahlberg down. So I think everything's looking good. One thing I did want to do before we get simulating done is kind of take a look at player morale, take care of any of these meetings. We've kind of ignored them for a little bit. I'm sure a lot of people are going to have some issues with the Mark Stahl trade, so we may have to address that here. It seems like other than that, though, the locker room chemistry is pretty good. I think it was sitting at 80. So, overall, everybody seems pretty happy here. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of go through these really quick. Again, Dan Boyle's still complaining, but like I've said many times, this will be his last season with us. So Rick Nash did not like the Jarrett Stoll trade. I know they had high locker room chemistry, but I feel like it makes us a better team. Dominic Moore, another one that had not good morale, but good chemistry with him. But again, I think it's going to make us better in the long run. And Pavel Datsyuk's glad to be here via trade. We'll go ahead and tell him we know he brings a lot to the table. That didn't work out too well. Welcome aboard. I think it's a trade that'll make us both happy. There we go. Okay. So we're at 80% locker room chemistry. We'll go ahead and do a team meeting. I'm not sure how this will go. Just like the tortoise and the hare, the other team thought they had us beat, but I'm proud you didn't implode. You should all be proud. Yeah, I like that one. Everybody but Datsyuk likes that one. Datsyuk wasn't even playing that game, so can't complain with that. All right, so let's go ahead and get some simulating done. We're going to keep it at 5 games at a time. Especially with, the new acquisitions. I want to make sure the lines are pretty good. If we have to do any changes, we'll do them in this video. But I think overall our team should be better. Hopefully our record reflects that at the end of the season. And, these are some important games here, 2-1 against Eastern Conference teams. One's in the Metro Division with us. It's important to get those wins. We're competing with all of these teams, even the Buffalo Sabres, which we lost to. Because potentially we could slide to a wild card position. I don't really expect that, but you never know. So 5 games there, we went 3-2. I think our offense was actually a little better there. So we'll go ahead and do another 5 games and just see where we stand. I kind of expect us to give up a little more goals with Mark Stahl no longer being with us, but we should be scoring more than 1 goal per game. That's kind of ridiculous. All right, so that stretch we went 2-3. So since the trade, we are 5-5. I'm going to dismiss player morale. Take a look at points real quick. Okay, we are now 3rd in the Metropolitan Division, but again, still pretty close. Pavel Datsyuk in that 10 games had, I believe, 8 points, so definitely a good acquisition there. I think he had 49 points, and it looks like Rick Nash gained a few, and Oscar Lindberg, moving him down to the 3rd line, or moving him to the 3rd line wing position hasn't hurt his production at all either. He's actually just 1 goal behind Rick Nash for most on our team, so that's actually really, really impressive. Alright, so I think right now we're just kind of in a get to the end of the season mode. I don't really want to do too many line changes right now because I think it's just, you know, we're going to win some and lose some. We're in a good position. As long as we can, you know, go above 500 overall, I think we'll be, I think we've already clinched a playoff spot, so these wins here are important. That's a big win streak that's very important. Alright, so we went 4-1 in that stretch, so that's a lot better. And we have 4 games left on the season, so let's go ahead and just get through the regular season here. Alright, we'll go ahead and we'll address player morale after these 2 games. It's looking like we could be one shy of 50 wins on the season, but regardless, that's a great record. So we did make the playoffs. Very good. Wasn't too worried about that, and it looks like with us being against Carolina, we likely were second in the division, but we'll take a look at all the stats and everything here. Alright, so in the Metropolitan Division, we sat in second with 102 points, which is an excellent season. There's really not much I can complain about there. Let's look at our power play. Well, our goals for per game went up, and our goals against continue to stay around 2.3. Our power play went up again. It was around 18.9. It's now 19.6. And our penalty kill did drop 3%. So I kind of expected that with Jarrett Stoll no longer being with us. So that's not too drastic of a change. It's probably still top 3. So we were 6th in the entire league. Dallas, Penguins, the Tampa Bay Lightning did win the President's Trophy, with the LA Kings really close behind. They actually had more wins and more regulation overtime wins, but those overtime losses helped the Tampa Bay Lightning get that President's Trophy. So let's take a look here at power plays and everything. Do kind of a regular season wrap up. So our power play was 8th in the league. So not bad at all. The teams above us are all playoff teams except for Toronto. And, I'd like this to be higher, but 19.6 is respectable. And now the penalty kill, we sit in 3rd. So again, we're 0.23% lower than first place. And first place has Carey Price on their team. Not that Lundqvist isn't great, but Carey Price, I'm sure, helps carry that penalty kill. So overall, I think our stats are where they need to be. We'll take a look at individual stats here. It looks like Rick Nash is leading our team at the end of the season with 70 points in 81 games. Pavel Datsyuk also managed to reach 70, so I think picking up Pavel Datsyuk was a good trade. I think it helped Nash and even Stepan produce at a little higher rate. McDonough leading our defensive core in points with Yandel pretty close behind, both plus players, which is important. Oscar Lindberg continues to be pretty great, honestly, to be such a rookie, to be bottom 6 potential. 25 goals, 27 assists. That's more than Kreider. Kreider only managed to get 44 points, so a little over 0.5 points per game. On the second line, that's really not good enough. Zuccarello's point total did actually decline as well, but I think he actually helped bring up Brassard a little bit. So JT Miller actually did really well for the third line. Scored more goals than Chris Kreider. He is on the power play, and he did score a good bit of power play goals. So it's looking like overall our lines are doing pretty well. Dan Girardi's still a minus. Fourth line's still kind of weak. I would like to see that get a little better. Ouellette actually managed to get 3 points and was a +9 in 19 games for us. So I think he's going to be a good defenseman for us going down the road. I think he'll be able to slot in. If we have to move Girardi or can't re-sign Yandel, I think he'll be really solid with Brady Shea. So we'll take a look here at our goalies. Lundqvist, I'm sure, played around 60 some games. 66 games played, goals against average of 2.1, and save percentage of a little under 93%. So that's about average for Hank. I think his career average is just a little bit under that. So it's another great year for him. Antti Ranta, he managed to get 9 wins in 21 games played. So, you know, for his overall, that's kind of a little lower than I'd like, but you know, what can you do? I think he's a serviceable backup. You know, his poise is good, his puck control's okay, his reflexes are okay. I think he'll be good going down the road, and like I said before, he comes at a very low price. So that's important in our, you know, current situation. We are kind of in a cap crunch. So, oh, didn't mean to do that. We'll go ahead and take a look at the entire league scores. We'll separate that into forwards first. Alright, so let's go to entire NHL. So the leading scorer was Evgeny Malkin, 93 points in 82 games played. Crosby was right there behind him with 92 points, so it's no wonder they were first in the Metropolitan with these two on their team. Jamie Benn was pretty close behind with 84 points. John Tavares, Stamkos, Datsuk and Nash were at least right on the outside of top 10 in scoring, so that's really nice to have. I think those two together, it's going to be pretty formidable in the playoffs. So let's see who was the leading goal scorer. I'd say Tavares, yep, John Tavares with 45 goals. Malkin and Ovechkin were next with 43. There were 5 40 goal scorers. A couple others just right outside 30. In terms of goal scoring, we're not going to have anybody too high up here. So, take a look at assists. Leading the league in assists is Sidney Crosby with 54, followed by Anze Kopitar, Nicholas Backstrom, Ryan O'Reilly. Again, Datsuk is down here, so I think he's maybe 12th in the league in assists, so that's great. Let's take a look at the defensemen right now. Alright, so we'll look at point totals first. I'm sure Drew Doughty, yep. Drew Doughty leads the league leads defensemen in the league with 74 points. That's an incredible season for him. He's plus 37. Oliver Ekman-Larsson and Christopher Letang are close behind with 67 points each. Ryan McDonough, you know, pretty serviceable. The guys ahead of him are guys that you would almost expect to have more points than him, except maybe Dustin Byfuglien. But 53 points on the season is fantastic. He has a plus 13, so he's defensively responsible, and we're gonna have him for a long time going down the road, and he's gonna be a very important piece for us. So it's good to see him getting the points. Keith Yandle should be up here a decent bit too, but anyway. So the leading defenseman in goals scored was Drew Doughty. I'm sure assists is the same. Oh, Oliver Ekman-Larsson and Chris Letang were ahead of him in assists. And leading in plus minus probably, Victor Hedman, okay. So there are all the stats. That's everything for, the end of the year, end of the regular season. We'll go ahead and we'll take a quick look here at the playoff tree. So we have the Rangers going up first against Carolina. That's the 2nd and 3rd seed. Pittsburgh will be taking on the New York Islanders, and that series has already got started, so Pittsburgh is out to a 1-0 series lead. We have Ottawa and Montreal. It's going to be a repeat of last season's playoffs. And Tampa Bay and Buffalo. So it seems like Jack Eichel's already lifted Buffalo into playoff position in this GM mode, so that's interesting. And not only that, they've already got the first win. And then on the Western Conference, we have Dallas and Nashville, Minnesota and Edmonton. So I guess Connor McDavid on that side is doing exactly what Jack Eichel's done. And we have Anaheim and Vancouver, and LA and Calgary. So some noticeable teams kind of missing from there. You don't see the San Jose Sharks. You don't see Chicago Blackhawks. Especially surprised about the Blackhawks. Surprised Washington didn't make it in as well. So kind of an interesting playoff tree right here. And that's where we're going to leave it for right now. So in the next video, we will be taking on the Carolina Hurricanes, and it should be a good series, so just stay tuned for that, and we'll see you in the next one.